Hello, I'm James, and tonight's game is Stellaris. Okay, when last we played, we had reached our borders with the various other civs. As you can see, the Uvazvanian Union on the south, Commonwealth of Man to the southeast, Nation of Desir to the north. And now let's resume. Maniacal. Increases research speed. Okay, we need something to... we need to get more energy credits. Looks like it's mostly stations consuming them. Living space debris. Envoy Pramath Chandran is still working to confirm the hypothesis. Oh. Drug cartels clash on Earth. Competition for markets is fierce between the countries. Competition for markets is fierce between the criminal cartels that are involved in the drug trade on Earth. There have been several recent clashes involving heavy military-grade infantry weapons that caused considerable property damage and left untold civilians dead. It seems drugs aren't the only thing being smuggled onto the planet. This is a disaster. Cartel War modifier added for 10 years, minus 20 stability. Okay, let's take a look at Earth. What can we do? Also, let's look at Zorf Prime. Zorf Prime needs more amenities. So that doesn't seem to have much of a crime problem. And it has a blocker now, too. Let's clear that active volcano. Ah, here's the odd factory. Take a look at Earth. Demolish those commercial zones in favor of medical centers. Okay. Living space debris. Envoy Pramathamesh Chandran is still working to confirm the hypothesis that the irregularity we had designated as sneakies is in fact a living organism. While it seems to be made up of a cluster of random stardust, it is demonstrably able to propel itself across the void and shows basic signs of independent agency. Our researchers are perplexed by the phenomenon. They're working hard to verify our readings. We must be missing something. Udlorans secured. The crew of the UNS Von Braun has managed to collect a small group of Udlorans from the icy surface of Alpha Centauri 4A. These white, furry omnivores wrap themselves into tight balls and roll across the moon's snowfields at astonishing speeds. One animal was clocked at over 80 kilometers per hour. This aided in their detection, since the passage of their rolling forms kicks up huge plumes of swirling snow. Excellent. Sneeren is secured. Sneerens are large burrowing creatures that live beneath at the dunes of the vast equatorial deserts on Kimithar II. When these predators sense movement in the sand above, they immediately raise dozens of tall spikes from their backs, in the hope of impaling something edible. Finding a suitable specimen proved difficult at first, until hundreds of tracked remote-controlled drones were dispatched across the desert in random directions. This led to the discovery and procurement of an unusually large specimen that had grown more than 100 spikes on its back.
Research complete.
Okay, what shall we research next? Okay, field modulation. Modulated fields allow for increased production and improved energy yield. Unlocks building. Substation relay complex. Next up, bookmark antimatter power. Yes, this. Sneakies, some kind of bright thing.
Hostile fleet engaged.
Retreat. Not strong enough yet. We did manage to do a lot of damage to shields. But none of it got... all of their shots seem to have gotten through, though.
With the yoke of natural evolution lifted from their shoulders, our people are sure to thrive in space.
Immediately after we completed the restoration and reactivation of the data files, a thrumming musical cadence surged through the ship, accompanied by the auto-tuned voices of ancient mariners. Transcription follows. Come all you young spacefarers, listen to me. I'll sing you a song of our fish from the sea. And it's windy weather, boys, stormy weather, boys. When the wind blows, then we're all together, boys. Blow ye winds, fringe road, hey, blow ye winds, blow. Out to the galaxy, steady she goes. Up come the solar winds, taking us far, all through the space lanes and out to the stars. And it's windy weather, boys, stormy weather, boys. When the wind blows, then we're all together, boys. Blow ye winds, fringe road, hey, blow ye winds, blow. Out to the galaxy, steady she goes. Okay. Translate more lyrics. Okay, and whatever the Brill are is still unspent trait points on them. And we have completed modifications to the eco-human species. Yes, Shagan Accord has declared another rival. Report fully surveyed.
System survey complete.
Sup is which is over there. Obergon, which is an archaeology site. Void clouds. investigation into a peculiar cluster of debris and space dust, previously dubbed Sneakies, has yielded surprising results, as a particulate cloud bristling with a powerful charge of unknown origin. It has no business exhibiting simple reflexive actions, let alone movements ominous about the hazy subject of the relayed video feeds. Perhaps there are things in the universe we should not tangle with. Let us watch, but not interfere with it. Issues Special Project, Cloud Study.
An alien empire has established communications.
Since it seems to be edicts that's putting us over energy production, let's drop the education campaign. Also the recycling campaign.
Special project complete.
Okay, and we now have flock robots too. Slower to build, but decreases empire size. Seismic disturbances. There have been many reports of unexplainable seismic disturbances on Hadar Prime. Tremors can be felt across the planet, and many of our settlements have suffered damage. While investigating the earthquakes, our scientists discovered a vast network of subterranean caverns. The deepest of these caverns is home to some kind of indigenous civilization, and they appear to be tunneling towards the surface. Ground vibrations from our settlements may have triggered this behavior, but we cannot be certain. There is no telling how these aliens will react when they spill out of their tunnels and encounter our colonists. We have to deal with this situation.
Situation log updated.
Establish communication. I believe we need a construction team over here. Can't build a defense platform there just yet.
Ships upgraded.
Special project.
Special project complete.
One of our probes burrowed through the ground and intercepted the tunneling aliens on Hadar Prime. After the startled alien workers calmed down, the probe was successful in establishing communications with their leaders. Open a channel. Persisting on, can you share, officers? We understand that you hail from the great nothing that lies in Hopworks beyond the stone. It was assumed that nothing living could exist there, but evidently this is not so. What are your intentions? Tell us about yourselves. Our empire stretches across every pocket of the known world. Only the great nothing lies between our reach. We have many fine cities supported by lichen farms, and the fish we catch in large rivers following through our tunnels. This has been our way for thousands of years. Our diggers heard the faint echoes of your cities through the stone, and we decided to investigate. We would like to coexist in peace. Then shall we surfacer? Let us share in this world together in the spirit of peace. We would be most interested in trading with your people. I believe we have much to offer one another. We shall return to our cities and make the arrangements. Void unclouded.
Special project complete.
The void clouds are, as far as eco-human researchers can tell, among the oldest entities in the universe. They seem to have originated just a scant few billion years after matter as we know it first appeared. The tremendous forces of the young cosmos making something out of nothing. They would have been stars once, but were not. Explaining their apparent animal intelligence is more difficult, but the answer might lie in the abnormally strong magnetic fields, or abnormally strong electromagnetic fields that keep them together, another product of their primordial beginnings. It's not inconceivable that, given enough time, the circulation of its strange stardust and graphitic fields aligned in a flexible approximation of neural pathways. Moreover, the clouds seem to be receiving impulses from one another, if not outright communicating, light years apart. Quantum entanglement is suspected to play a role in this phenomenon. Humbling. As we explored the ship, Cosmic Beasties. As we explored the ship, further attempts to power it up and recover its data files unlocked more stanzas of the ancient space shanty. The ship's holographic display vibrantly projected images of sailors and spacefarers singing and dancing in accompaniment. Up comes the great dragon in search of our home, through space to a place that's beneath waves and foam, and it's windy weather, boys, stormy weather, boys. When the wind blows, then we're all together, boys. Blow ye winds fringeward, hey, blow ye winds, blow. Out to the galaxy, steady she goes. Up comes the T-Yankee, the king of deep space, racing our ships in a hyperspace chase, and it's windy weather, boys, stormy weather, boys. When the wind blows, then we're all together, boys. Blow ye winds fringeward, hey, blow ye winds, blow. Out to the galaxy, steady she goes. Up comes Leviathan, tentacles grasp, choking our ship as we shiver and gasp, and it's windy weather, boys, stormy weather, boys. When the wind blows, then we're all together, boys. Blow ye winds fringeward, hey, blow ye winds, blow. Out to the galaxy, steady she goes. Translate some more lyrics. Need more alloys. But we can get more magnets. Oh, there's the alloys.
Council agenda available.
Infinite Opportunities is no longer on cooldown. Rogue Scientist consolidates power. We have received alarming reports from the surface of Karen Vol 3. Looks like our rogue scientist is consolidating power. She has given one of the feudal kingdoms access to advanced weaponry, and they are now in the process of conquering the rest of the planet in her name. A plan has been proposed to forcibly extract her, but it will require significant ground forces. There is no telling what effect this will have on the native population, as many have come to see her as a god. The operation is a go. Remove her.
Situation log updated.
Feral behavior. Reports from our colony on Hadar Prime claims that there's been an increase in feral behavior. Apparently parts of the population have expressed hitherto unprecedented levels of lust and aggression, and no one knows why. Carry on. Violence on the rise. The feral behavior on Hadar Prime. The feral behavior on Hadar Prime shows no signs of stopping anytime soon. In fact, it has risen since the last report. Promiscuous and violent acts happen all the time, and a large part of the population seems to be affected. A fair amount of inhabitants are openly behaving like wild beasts. This is madness. The situation on Hadar Prime has spiraled out of control. A staggering number of inhabitants are now infected with whatever is causing this feral deluge. And the colony has started to break down because of it. Something needs to be done, or Hadar Prime will be lost. Well then, do something. Special project, rooting out the problem.
Situation log updated.
high time to investigate what's causing the strange and destructive behavior of the Hadar Prime colony. Whole society has increased to high awareness. Well, you know what? With that... can't reveal ourselves because the missing scientist is still around. Pull a scientist over. Savage spores. The investigation of the strange and wild behavior currently besetting Hadar Prime has been completed. In the vast network of cave tunnels that permeates the planet's crust, an enigmatic fungus has been found. Grows all over the caves, floor, walls, ceiling, and stretches out for thousands of miles. The fungus frequently releases spores that are vented out of the caves. For what purpose has not been established, but we know for certain that it causes primitive behavior in our species, releasing primal urges within. We can try to find a useful application of this phenomenon, or we can exterminate the fungus altogether. Utilize the cave mushrooms.
Situation log updated.
Consortium of Aramadon 1 has closed their borders. I do not think we have borders with them. This salt fleet go over here. No, over here. Potent potables. Archaeologists have unearthed a stash of potent potables. Were the sailors consuming these foul fluids? We will not ingest these strange liquids. Our exploration of the ship is already sufficiently intoxicating. Up come the lithoids, all hewn from their stone. These boulders are bolder when they are not alone. And it's all together, boys. Let's see, what was it? Up come the necroids, all fearsome and great. You can't kill them, mateys, they'll reanimate. Up come swarms of robots, get ready to run. Fight 110, a dozen, 1101. And it's windy weather, boys, stormy weather, boys. When the wind all together, boys, blow ye winds, rimrod, oh, blow ye winds, blow. Out to the galaxy, steady she goes. Okay, that is 15. No. Yeah, 13. And to keep excavating.
Locker cleared.
Okay, and we're in the green on energy again. Not by much. Probably have to do something about that once we've got jobs. Cloud and Strife. Industrial facilities. Industrial facilities have been built over the outlets for the fungus-infested cave systems. Apart from filtering and regulating the spread of spores, these plants can also convert any excess spore clouds into useful exotic gases. The population growth has increased as the somewhat randy inhabitants of Hadar Prime satisfy their urges more frequently, which unfortunately also means that the level of violence and conflict is somewhat higher on Hadar Prime. That's the price of progress.
Incoming transmission.
The eco-human people should not be prisoners in the United Nations at all. And neither should our own people be limited to inhabit our territory. Let us agree to remedy this. Sure. Okay, we now have a source of exotic gases. Interstellar Fleet Traditions.
Research complete.
A body of knowledge regarding combat behaviors is useless without a strong code governing its use. Fleet Academy. For our newly recruited crews to be truly combat-ready, they must have capable officers leading them. This Fleet Academy will ensure these officers have up-to-date knowledge on the doctrines and practice of interstellar warfare. Naval Logistics Office. A minimal but extant bureaucratic lair increases the theoretical capacity of the starbase's anchorages. Okay, next research. Let's go with improved production. And switch from anti-netter power to global energy management. Earthquakes on Hadar Prime. There has been a wave of earthquakes on Hadar Prime recently, and buildings in several of our settlements have collapsed with many fatalities as a result. The subterranean alien empire is excavating a new cavern deep underground where they plan to build a new city, and this appears to be the source of the earthquakes. We must demand an apology. Famine. We have been approached by a delegation from the subterranean aliens on Hadar Prime. It seems their empire has fallen on hard times recently, and they are facing the threat of a famine. They are pleading with us to provide whatever assistance we can. Of course, we will help however we can. Mining drone work ethic. The drones and their tireless, endless work of extracting ever-diminishing resources from their local planetoids make for a somewhat dull, but nevertheless informative subject of study. In fact, mining networks on Earth could stand to learn a thing or two about maximizing mineral extraction rates while conserving energy. Additionally, we have found that the drones are not completely silent. They emit signal pings, though extremely infrequently and at a wavelength hard to isolate from background noise. If there is anyone left to receive these pings, may be a mystery for another time. Easy prey. Let's do this. Message in a bottle. Cast off the hawser. Our exploration has revealed a glance of ancient history, displaying the zeal and courage of ancient explorers. Clearly, the captain used this space shanty to motivate and coordinate the crew. Perhaps they even sang along. Archaeologists are suggesting this performance should be preserved in a museum installation. As for the ancient melody, we've transcribed all the lyrics we could find and added them to our databanks. Our own sailors now have a habit of singing versions of their own space shanties, which should improve their morale and efficiency. We rose from the ocean and reached for the sky while building an empire that never will die. And it's windy weather, boys, stormy weather, boys. When the wind blows, then we're all together, boys. Blow ye winds, Fringewood, hey, blow ye winds, blow. Out to the galaxy, steady she goes. It's time to untether from this ancient vessel, casting off the hawser as we set sail on solar winds. Steady as she goes. Memorize the lyrics and set the next course. Harmonious crew modifier added. Sublight speed plus 10%. Okay, is that on the Von Braun itself, or... or is it an Empire modifier? Yes, Empire modifier. Fully excavated an archaeological site. Not sure what that was about. Under the ice. ghostly spires. Ah, that's what it was. That was the audio cue for this specific one. Our scientists have set their camps around the edges of a glassy, frozen lake. Under sufficient light, one may catch glimpses of spectral towers underneath. They grasp upwards from the lake bed like steadfast tendrils. Our less experienced crews are still adjusting to work in such biting, sterile cold. Despite this, our excavations have proceeded swiftly. We have exposed numerous airlocks, all designed for primitive submarine vessels. There is, as yet, no sign of the vessels themselves. Whether the tower's inhabitants stayed or fled, every one of its docks was left empty. We should invest further in these ice-breaking techniques. Which gets us climate control network. Successful extraction. We have successfully extracted the rogue scientist from Cairnval 3. Hundreds of pre-FTLs were tragically gunned down when they launched suicidal attacks against our forces in a futile effort to protect their god. Our legal system will now deal with the scientists, but the impact of these events on the planet's civilization must be immense. They still possess some of our technology, and their deity has just been spirited away by invaders from the stars. At least one problem has been dealt with. Okay, now... let's see what we can do. Diplomacy. Still can't reveal our presence. Why not? New tradition. Galactic ambition. New presidential campaign. Not yet. Global energy management.
Research complete.
Load balancing facilities can greatly improve the stability of local grids and feed excess power back into centralized capacitors. Next up. Start to advanced combat roles. Let's switch to shields. Yeah, we've got a bunch of species now. Targasauroid secured. The Tassagoroid is an extremely lethal predator that stalks the dense jungles of Fargus V at night, paralyzing its prey with electric shocks before sucking their brains out with its tube-like mouth. Fortunately, 3 of the crew members from the UNS Von Braun were lost to these creatures before a specimen can be secured. The Museum of Exobiology on Earth will rename one of its wings after these brave officers to honor their sacrifice. Excellent.
Incoming transmission.
Commercial. Not yet. And Dakalenex has been re-elected president. Sending 12 infants. Carefree. Increases anomaly research speed. Okay, let's re-specialize you in anomaly investigation. The Serrano Covenant has declared a rivalry. Put you on general science duty.
Incoming transmission.
Six. Gonna be a while there.
Council agenda ready.
Okay, open arms activated. Next up, infinite opportunities. Increase happiness. writing. Someone used a mining laser from orbit approximately 5,000 years ago to carve a large body of writing into the surface of Ichion 4. The massive script covers a large portion of the planet's upper hemisphere. It appears to be a short story chronicling the difficult life of an alien mercenary. Fascinating. Next up, terraform 3 worlds. Which we can't do yet. Strawbeard has a blocker. 2 blockers. Dense jungle. The entire region completely overgrown with thick impassable jungle, and a thick forest of kelp that is toxic to most forms of life. Which will yield ore-veined cliffs and rugged woods. Hadar is recovering. New contact. We have received a communique from a previously unknown spacefaring empire that call themselves the Corinth Commonwealth. They claim to have learned of our existence by listening in on the communications of another empire we are in contact with. Klingons. Military Commissariat of Ruthless Capitalists. I represent the Corinth Commonwealth. Our elected leader, Commissary General Lathira, believes in peace through strength, but do not be alarmed by our military spending. We are impressed by your species and hope you will agree to a cultural exchange between our people. We are delighted to meet you, Corinths.
Spaceborne life form encountered.
Still need a bunch more influence. Gravity Crush. The UNS von Braun's survey of the asteroid is temporarily halted as a probe is caught by an errant gravitational anomaly. The probe manages to transmit some data before it is brutally crushed by the extreme forces. Forces that completely dissipate soon after. At least no one got hurt. Debris field. The strong gravity well of Kirbon 4 has pulled in a massive amount of space debris, which has formed a dense layer around parts of the gas giant. Most of it appears to be wreckage from a series of space battles fought in the system several millennia ago. Scavengers have already scoured the debris of valuable technologies and artifacts, but a mining station should be able to recycle the metal. Interesting. Still can't reveal ourselves.
Incoming transmission.
The Corinth Commonwealth wants an embassy. Let's give them one. The Estragon Accord
Incoming transmission.
wants a research project. Improved production.
Research complete.
As our plants become more developed, we can gain significant improvements to our throughput. Next research. Let's bookmark atmospheric filtering. And then change to xenology. And Strawbeard still has a blocker, doesn't it? So those two blockers. They can get volatile mote harvesting instead of energy generation. Interesting. But we don't have mote stabilization yet. League Naval Base. The wreckage of what must have been a major First League naval base has been detected in orbit around Karenbal 1. We know the League maintained a significant fleet called the Grand Navy to combat piracy and safeguard member nations from external aggressors. This particular outpost appears to have provided berthing for one of their rimward patrol fleets. Remarkable. Special Project, Naval Base.
Situation log updated.
Looks like that'll be taken care of automatically. A galactic community. As more and more spacefaring civilizations establish formal relations with one another, the galaxy is becoming a vibrant and lively place. To avoid tragic misunderstandings between nations, an increasing number of diplomats have called for the establishment of a new pan-galactic organization, a community, if you will, where the empires of the galaxy can meet to discuss important matters. Should the United Nations of Earth pledge its support for the creation of the galactic community? Yes, this is a worthy endeavor. We will support the creation of the galactic community.
Research complete.
Shields. These new shield generators represent the next generation of energy screens, replacing the older deflector technology. They offer significantly better protection. Next research. Okay, bookmark X-ray lasers. Tasty bait. Construction of the Tianqi...
Special project complete.
The construction of the Tianqi lure in the Tian-Ort system has been completed. Beguiled by the nourishing gases released by the diffuser, the Gravekeepers are lured away from their post, allowing our scientists to slip through their tentacles and approach the burial ground unnoticed. Interesting. New archaeological site, the Tianqi Grave Mound. The surface of Auric Vul is entirely covered in the remains of dead Tianqi. Our sensors detect no signs of life, and yet the corpses still writhe and squirm as if animated by some inscrutable force. And Majesta Zirova has a custom AI assistant, a simple neural network to help with data processing tasks.
Blocker cleared.
First League artifact
Special
recovered.
project complete.
A thorough investigation of Karen Val 5 has unearthed evidence of a past First League presence. An away team from the UNS Pythias has managed to bring a relatively well-preserved artifact back to the ship. It should hopefully increase our knowledge of this ancient civilization. Interesting. Yeah, streaming is thirsty work. Might be a bit silly that I'm using a wine bottle for water, a bunch of soy sauce bottles for spare water, but that's how I do things. Okay. Then, let's see, what next? Let's go with automated colony ships. Elvins, to world preference. They're outside our borders. Where are they? In Bijal. Wherever that is. All the way over there. In the Uvazavanian Union. Let's start on this section.
Blocker cleared.
Archaeological project completed. First League.
Special project complete.
Archaeological mission to the First League naval base is concluded. We recovered the emblem of the 28th Outer Rim Patrol Fleet, a mid-sized task force charged with the defense of trade routes leading to League associate nations along the Galactic Rim. The base orbiting Cairnval 1 was apparently their home port, an interesting find. Singing Planet. What we first assumed to be a deliberate attempt at communication has turned out to be an unusual but naturally occurring phenomenon. The magnetic waves produced by the planet, given proper handling and editing, may sound a bit like talking or even singing, but they are in no way created by a thinking being. Some of our scientists, however, find it quite catchy. My might be possible to make use of this phenomenon. Possibly by hosting artists or VIPs at a station created solely to catch these signals and play them as relaxing music. Fascinating. And 3 Unity to Mara data. Over here.
Research complete.
Alien Zoo. Studying the fauna of other worlds gives us insight into alien behaviors, allowing us to identify and domesticate docile entities. Okay, next up. Let's go with the climate control network. That seems like a fast one to knock out. That is important to do.
We have uncovered a strategic resource. Many strategic resources require specific technologies to exploit, but can confer powerful bonuses.
Strategic resources to extract. First contact with an unknown entity. Where? Over there? Griffins. We've made first contact with mysterious aliens in the Anawan system. For now, we have codenamed them Griffins until we can find out more about them. They possess a language. We must decipher it in order to establish communications. Joshua Jacobs, your turn. Under the ice. Some wear and tear. As we continue to remove large sections of ice from around the various icebound habitats, our scientists at the docking tower have discovered a primitive computer terminal. Its brittle metal casing appears to have been chewed upon. The terminal booted up correctly after some minor repairs. Large parts of the habitat's data network remain offline, but we can infer a great deal from local caches of stock manifests, personnel files, and what appears to be a stash of mission logs. Intriguing. The birth of the galactic community. This is a historic day. Several of the galaxy's prominent spacefaring empires, including the United Nations of Earth, have announced the creation of the galactic community. This supranational organization will serve as a forum where matters involving the entire galaxy can be discussed and decided upon. As one of its founding members, we can take pride in this milestone of galactic history. A great day for the galaxy. Joined the galactic community. The Jessenax Empire has opened their non-existent border.
Incoming transmission.
The Juscon hierarchy wants an embassy. Okay, and then up next, cooperative research channels. We should establish protocols that permit the scientists of the galactic community to share and review discoveries more easily. Being surrounded by all these creatures is a terrible strain, so please don't make me beg for your support. The Sovereign Fevarian Constituents, a direct democracy of hegemonic imperialists. Support the cooperative research channels. Nothing else is up yet. As for what I'm doing here, my goal is to make sure that we can't be cut off if when the Thembelon Society decides to go out.
Incoming transmission.
Sovereign Fevarian constituents have closed their borders to us.
Incoming transmission.
The Bonthurian Sacrosanct Theocracy, a theocratic dictatorship of spiritual spirits, wants an embassy. As does the Avarian Star Regime, a military junta of hegemonic imperialists. The Estragon Accord has joined. And now we have Comfort the Fallen. Unemployed workers have their happiness penalty reduced by 10%. And form the galactic market. De facto galactic trade, unbound by international diplomacy, has existed since the first two interstellar species met. As galactic leaders, we should agree that it is time to legitimize this commercial forum so that all may benefit. Yes, let's do that too. Recthalarian Empire.
Incoming transmission.
Martial Empire of Evangelizing Zealots.
Incoming transmission.
Okay, those look like they might be void clouds. Tarblack secured.
Incoming transmission.
After an extensive search of the seabed on Obethalon 3A, using a small fleet of mini-submarines, the crew of the UNS Pythias finally managed to corner the elusive target of their search, a live Tarblack. A shimmering creature, which defends itself by emitting faint psionic signals that produce a sense of dread in most organics, was brought aboard the science ship in a special water tank simulating its natural environment. The crew members on the UNS Pythias that came into direct contact with the Tarblack will require extensive therapy, but the mission has been a success. Okay, commercial pact? No.
Research complete.
Aggression, automated colony ships. Colony development speed plus 50%. By giving control of the colony ship to the onboard computer, the crew and colonists can be placed in suspended animation. Didn't work out so great when the computer was named HAL, but hopefully they can get around that. Okay, next let's bookmark advanced shields. Up. Improved reactor boosters. Recthalarians have opened their borders to us.
Incoming transmission.
The Glebsig Foundation wants an embassy.
Research complete.
Climate Control Network. Orbital systems of mirrors and shades can affect dramatic changes in planetary climate when managed properly. Okay. Bookmark glandular acclimation. Switch in xenohydraulic mastery. is in recess. Next up, Pan-Galactic... Okay, next up is forming the Galactic Market. Then comforting the fallen. Pan-Galactic Recycling Initiatives. We all benefit from reducing waste and reusing what we can. Sharing recycling protocols between the galactic community will help all of us. Sure. Guardian Angels Act. The soldiers that dedicate their lives to keeping our planet safe should be recognized and honored. Commonwealth of Man has joined the galactic community. Sub-assembly. And standardized destroyer patterns.
Research complete.
Establishing new standards for the modeling and construction of destroyers greatly improves the efficiency of the production pipeline. Next up, railguns. Request for technology. After seeing the advanced weapons that our security forces are equipped with, several generals from the subterranean alien empire on Hadar Prime have come forward requesting that we share some of our military technology. Our own officers are hesitant to do this, as it would make the aliens more difficult to defeat in battle should it ever come to that. If we refuse the request, however, the aliens are certain to view it as an insult. They are our friends. Share what we can. Okay, switch from railguns to mineral cutting beams. The Ricthalarian Empire has made peace with the nation of Desir. Consortium of Meridian 1 has joined Galcon. As has the Bessidon Union, old friends up here. Sabon Assembly wants an embassy. Let's give them one.
Incoming transmission.
Under the ice. Troubling developments. Our knowledge of the ancient settlement on Borbagon 8 deepens, but so too does our concern. What we have uncovered is the remains of a frontier colony. A remnant of a civilization so long forgotten, we cannot even discern their name. When seas were a more dominant feature on this world, disparate groups of settlers were brought from their homeworld, conscripted into pioneer submarine crews. Their goal, to establish colonies and exploit the planet's natural resources. Their reality, however, was one of unchecked biological experiments, radical political change, and significant peril fending off hostile flora and fauna. The sensor logs from a navigation buoy appear to have tracked one such crew en route to a nearby outpost. We believe their vessel may still be there, trapped in the ice, with a cache of useful materials. Dispatch a research team immediately. That custom AI assistant. Let's put you on anomaly specialty duty. Silicon life forms. Some kind of burrowing silicon-based life form inhabits a vast network of tunnels beneath the barren surface of Muscida B2A. As best as we can tell, the creatures feed off rocks, and there is evidence to suggest that they possess a rudimentary form of intelligence. Their tunneling efforts have shuffled large amounts of valuable minerals to the surface. Intriguing. Rudimentary intelligence, but not enough to uplift. Too bad. Bone minerals. Sell them off. Charter of Workers' Rights. It's only right for us to codify the rights of the workers and protect them from common abuses. Yes. The Readied Shield. The universe is a dangerous place, and all members of the galactic community should be ready to defend their worlds, whether it be against pirates, space creatures, or the unknown. Yes. Okay. Griffins. Living crystals. The irregularity we had designated as griffins appears to be made of some sort of crystalline material. Curiously, it seems to be able to propel itself across the void and protect itself when necessary, indicating that it may be alive. Researchers are working hard to find out more. Keep at it.
Research complete.
Geothermal. The measured pounding observed from orbit is the motion of immense and ancient geothermal extractors breathing their last. Built and then abandoned at some point in the distant past, the vast batteries of disintegrating machinery have been pumping up superheated fluids from the planet's core ever since. The storage capacitors are all broken or leaking, but some energy can be siphoned from them. Excellent. And then research. Improved reactor boosters. The discovery of fusion power allows for better reactor boosters to be fitted onto our ships. Okay, lots of stuff to bookmark this time. Multi-dimensional analysis first. And then we got xenohydraulic
Research
mastery.
complete.
Sapient races have been reclaiming swampland for thousands of years. A coordinated system of modular aqueducts, pump stations, chemical remediation crawlers, and automated soil compactors can reclaim land at unprecedented speeds. That allows us to clear noxious swamps, treacherous swamplands and bogs surrounded by putrid gases. Research. Lots of good ones this time. Okay, psionic theory first. Also, with this bookmarked. Pick up interlinked support systems. Missile Strikes Observation Post. Earlier today, a barrage of surface-to-space missiles was launched from the surface of Karenval 3 at our observation post. The station was destroyed with no survivors. There can be no doubt that the pre-FTL civilization on the planet's surface is continuing to advance at an incredible rate, despite the fact that we removed the influence of their so-called god. The technology she gave them must have triggered a lasting scientific revolution. This is why we have a directive of non-interference. Roll Society advances to the early space age. Karenval 3 observation post is dismantled. Okay. Do we have any construction ships nearby? No, but we can build one. Missing scientist. Again. One of the scientists working at the observation post orbiting Bazanok 4 has been reported missing. He was taking part in a covert mission to collect plant samples from the planet's surface, but did not return to the shuttle with the rest of his team. We have been conducting a limited search so as not to alert the pre-FTLs, but so far without success. Roll Society. Fragmented nation-states, splintered species. Spirits protect me. You look like our holy savior, yet the differences are telling. She spoke of demons who would mimic appearance, and that might one day descend from the heavens to steal away. The prophecy came true, and there is no doubt in my mind that it was your doing. Where is our holy savior, creature? I demand immediate release. Your holy savior was an alien scientist. Cease thy blasphemy. Slandering the name of the holy savior is an unforgivable sin and punishable by death. It is only through her sacred implements that our civilization managed to achieve all that it has. I will forgive your trespass, so long as you return the holy savior to us. Very well. She will be released into your custody. May the holy savior forgive your crimes, demon. Perhaps there is hope for you yet. Okay. I suppose I should be thankful that you have returned me to my disciples, despite the unjust treatment I received. In the confinement and ludicrous psychological assessments, I am willing to let bygones be bygones. As long as you leave me and my people alone, we can find a way to coexist. Space is very big, after all. We shall see. Greetings. You have no doubt taken note of our ascent from humble beginnings, just as we have taken note of your starbase orbiting our star. We understand that this starbase represents some hypothetical claim on the system. We ask only that you relinquish this hold on our space, seizing this starbase to the beings who have called Cairnval home since time immemorial. It is only just. Of course, it is only just. Test rocks. Continued exploration of Muscidia 3 has yielded more questions than answers. The surface is littered with eerily lifelike statues, their expressions petrified in silent agony. Our scientists are divided. Some believe that these forms were once living beings turned to stone by an unknown force. Others suggest they represent deities, worshipped by a long-forgotten civilization. More cautious few believe the statues are not a tribute, but a warning. Perhaps a grim message to any who would dare to disturb the planet. Continue the research.
Situation log updated.
Okay, now, technology. Okay, multi-dimensional analysis is bookmarked. Gravitic sensors it is. Psionic theory. Bookmarked. Interstellar logistics next. Okay, begin building a starbase there. Search. Solar logistics bookmarked. Next, cloning. Hadar Prime is mostly back up. And it looks like a lot of our worlds are majority robot now. Okay, cloning is bookmarked. Dangerous wildlife removal. Colonial centralization. Asteroid approaching, Torfreeze Star 2. Small astrometric lab on our observation post orbiting Torfreeze Star 2 has detected a Class 4 asteroid on an incoming trajectory. Unless action is taken, it will impact the planet's eastern hemisphere with enough force to cause an extinction-level event. Our mission of passive observation would typically prohibit us from intervening. Many of our scientists have argued for an exception in this case. To do nothing would mean to condemn the Ishnian society on Torfreeze Star 2 to a certain death. Okay. Torfreeze Star. It's right there. I think I have some fleets nearby we can throw at it.
Incoming transmission.
Okay, establish embassy. The Kravadox Citizen Confederation wants to establish an embassy on Earth. Let's do it. Okay, Serene Kroll Republic has joined the galactic community. Kravadox Citizen Confederation has joined. Senate is now in session. Voting to form the Galactic Market. Nadezhda Zirova of the UNS von Braun is now stubborn. Slow to accept new methods and ideas, even if they've proven superior. Reducing leader experience gain. Justnax Empire has become more militarist. Okay, need to get more alloy production somehow. afford to buy a bunch of alloys. Let's blow them on some new defense platforms. Technology. Colonial centralization. Everything bookmarked. Let's go back to dangerous wildlife. There are other techs there. Riveting sensors. Mineral cutting beams. Yeah, leave those as is. What music they make. The animals of Muscidia 4, predator and prey alike, gather together as night falls and sing. The howls, clicks, chirps, roars, and hisses seem discordant at first, but underneath lies a recognizable melody. The crew of the UNS Darwin suggests it's even rather pleasant to hear. We believe an external influence must have interfered in order to develop this non-sapient choir. We cannot fathom as to why, however, we may be able to figure out how they did it. Society research gained. It's going to take a lot of years to pass resolution. Pirate treasure. This asteroid appears to have been used intermittently as a base by a band of alien pirates roughly 1,000 years ago. By entering the base, we managed to recover their abandoned treasure hoard. It consisted mostly of stolen trinkets and artifacts, but some of it still appears to be of value. These ill-gotten gains shall serve us well. Still got capacity. west.
Hostile fleet engaged.
Cautious. Increases ship weapons range and combat disengagement chance. This leader is a cautious commander, avoiding unnecessary risks and taking care to always maintain formations in which fleet units can mutually support each other against the enemy. The asteroid is FTL capable, but defense platforms are not. Interesting. Source storage full. Rivalries. Defensive pact. Drug trade continues on Earth. The illicit drug trade continues unabated on Earth. We recently discovered that smugglers have somehow pilfered exotic gases from one of our orbital storage yards, singling out those gases with known psychedelic properties. They were then distributed to dealers and sold in the back alleys of Earth. This can't be allowed to continue. Okay, so how do I stop it? Crime is down. Amenities are up. Housing is up. Stability is up. Plenty of available jobs. No spare denizens. 0 criminals. Huge pile of planetary cards. Crystalline entities. The researchers have finished investigating the reports of extraordinary, free-floating, crystal-like objects observed in the United Nations of Earth system. Their findings are startling. The ship-sized objects and their slightly smaller but equally crystal-like satellites at first appeared inert. But sudden shifts in their orientation relative to our ships and new energy signatures emerging from within the prisms indicate that they might be alive, a fascinating prospect to be sure. They should be approached with caution. Our best and brightest are standing by to study these entities. We can learn to coexist. Let's get started on that.
An alien empire has established communications.
Crystalline pacification available. Crystalline entities observed in some systems are volatile and potentially dangerous. Then continue the battle. Asteroid destroyed. The asteroid that was heading toward Torfree's Star 2 has been destroyed before it could reach the planet's surface. But fragments reached the atmosphere burned up safely before they could cause any harm. Aside from having witnessed what must have been a spectacular meteor shower, the pre-FTL aliens of the Ishinian Society have no idea how close to extinction they just came, nor will they. Okay, and with that, I'm going to call it for tonight. Thank you for watching. I have been James, and the game has been Stellaris. If you would like to watch me play some more, please follow me on Twitch.